A week has gone by since the SBA denied my EIDL loan increase, and now multiple business owners are reporting the same thing back to me. Plus, I've seen many YouTubers saying similar things. It looks like the SBA just took a giant crap all over American small businesses. Why are the SBA and the entire administration so purposefully destroying small businesses? So what the heck is going on with these idiots at the SBA, and what can we do about it? All this and more in today's video. Hello and welcome to the Stephen Carlson Show. I'm Stephen Carlson. I'm a tech entrepreneur, real estate investor, author, YouTuber, paramedic, and it looks like Bonnie and Clyde are currently laying out by the pool. All right, I know I've told you guys this many times before, but it really does bear repeating. I'm basically at the point where I kind of doubt that we will ever get our money that has been promised to us from the SBA if we just sit around and do nothing about it. Yeah, I know, like I've said before, it's my job to tell everybody that everything's gonna be okay, but I'm not gonna lie and sugarcoat this. The road to getting the funding that we were promised over a year ago, the funding that we so desperately need and that we are entitled to and we are going to fight for, it's going to be a long journey ahead of us. One of these steps is going to be putting pressure on DC and making it clear that we are going to stand together and we demand our $10,000 EIDL grants and our $5,000 bonus grants. And of course the $2 million in emergency loans that we were all promised. Make sure you comment down below with the hashtag TeamEIDL and share this video everywhere on social media. Tag your local news stations, politicians, and demand that someone in DC finally get off their ass and save all of our businesses before we all go out of business. And before I go any further, I use my regular viewers. You guys already know this. I have a team of outstanding lawyers that Clyde keeps chained up so they don't escape. The only problem with these lawyers, they get a little rowdy in order to make a video, and the only way to calm these stinking lawyers down is to give a quick disclaimer. The opinions in this video, they're exactly that. They're my opinions, and occasionally Clyde's opinions, but neither one of us are lawyers, we're not tax advisors, so this is not legal financial tax advice, you get the point. Also, while you have you here, oh, I messed that up, but you get the point. Anyways, while I have you here, why don't you check out Webull, links down below. Deposit $100 and you will get 2 free stocks. Help support the channel, help support Bonnie and Clyde, we all appreciate it, thanks. And one last ad, then I promise I'll shut up. But yeah, I know some of you guys don't really like stock investing, so check out the other pinned video below where you can get the equivalent of 40 free lottery tickets every single week. Okay, like I said, all that out of the way. Let's get to today's video. As I said a minute ago in the intro, the SBA has basically all of us over. Not just me, but millions of small businesses throughout the entire country. It has been over a year and a half since the pandemic started, and only a select few small businesses were lucky enough to get the financial support that they were promised, that we were all promised.
Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. It's Thursday, July 15th. Breaking news today on mass EIDL loan increase declines. To a lot of EIDL loan applicants, we don't know the full extent of the problem, but the reports have been coming in. Emails started going out last night declining people for their EIDL loan increases. Apparently this has been done in error.
Jason, Skip, and many others are seeing the same thing that I have, with millions of small businesses just wholesale being denied for the loan increase. Supposedly, this was a mistake by the SBA. What a shock. A mistake. I'm not really 100% convinced. To me, it sounds more like shit hit the fan after this mass denial, and the PR team quickly went out and said, don't worry, it was a mistake, we'll fix it. Trust us.
Okay, people, move along. There's nothing to see here.
We don't know if this affected thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. We do know it's likely millions of people are still waiting for their EIDL loan increases, and you've most likely been waiting for over 2 months for a loan officer to take a look at your file or for the SBA to get your tax transcript from the IRS. Let me go on. At your request or due to inactivity, we have withdrawn your application from active consideration. Now, most of you wouldn't have requested to withdraw, so this was sent in error, and it could be an automatic trigger due to inactivity. This has taken so long. I wouldn't be surprised if that was it. If they had a rule in the system that would say after 60 days, things would time out if no action has been taken on your portal. I would not be surprised if it was something like that. You have the right to request reacceptance subject to the availability of funds. You can submit your request to any of the following. You can mail in, fax in, or email pdcrecons@sba.gov.
Covered the letter that many people have received. It was slightly different than the letter that I received, but I'll cover that in a few minutes. First, comment about the timeout rule. As you guys know, I own a tech company, and by trade, I am a programmer. So this rule does make logical sense. That somebody may have created a rule in the system that after X number of days of any inactivity, the application would basically be closed out. In a perfect world, this would make logical sense to implement such a rule. This would help to reduce the number of applications just sitting around in the queue when a business owner refuses to reply to SBA questions. Like I said, in a perfect world, this would be logical. The problem is, for many of us, it has not been us refusing to reply to the SBA. It has been tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, possibly even millions of applicants that are waiting on the SBA. It's the SBA dragging their feet. Now, if this letter was truly sent out in error, that's great news for many, as it means there's still a chance, kind of small, but still a chance that the SBA is working on your 24-month working capital loan increase. But there are so many problems with the EIDL program, and they're systemic. I really doubt that they can be fixed anytime soon without a massive overhaul of the system. Part of the problem is very much the fault of Congress. They foolishly attempted to take a little-used emergency disaster program that was designed to help a few hundred, maybe a few thousand small businesses after a natural disaster like a hurricane or a tornado coming through. The programs were never designed to help millions of businesses all at once. Then to make it worse, Congress decided to expand the program to not only small businesses, but also to everyone that was self-employed and a gig worker. Now, before you get all pissy and close this video down, I'm not saying self-employed or gig workers didn't deserve help. No, what I'm saying is they really should not have received EIDL from the SBA. The EIDL program was designed to help businesses with inventory, employees, buildings, etc. after some sort of a storm. If they were going to go this route and have the EIDL program for small businesses, there really should have been a separate program for gig workers and contract employees. This would have also fixed a lot of the problems where we're waiting on the IRS, because then they would only be needing to return business tax returns instead of having to return everybody's taxes. This could easily cut the amount of requests to the IRS in half, if not more. Now, of course, some of you may remember last March I proposed a straightforward program that could have solved all these problems. You can check out some of my previous videos from last year if you want the more details, but in summary, my idea was to take all small businesses with 100 or fewer employees and give them direct deposit stimulus every single month. The amount would be calculated on a very simple basis of 1/12 of the business's annual gross revenues. Remember, there's 12 months in a year, take the total year, divide by 12, you got it. Anyways, my idea was take this money and give it to the businesses every single month. This money would have been used to keep employees on payroll, pay for supplies, rent, pay for gig workers' contract work, etc. And the economy would have been still kept alive. We would have not needed any of the additional rental assistance programs, the mortgage forbearance programs, the increased unemployment, because everybody that was employed prior to the pandemic would still be employed. Instead, the morons in DC, from both political parties, decided to shut everything down and basically took all of our businesses and smashed them against a wall at 90 miles an hour. Now we face a situation where many small businesses just completely went bankrupt over the past year. And for the ones that somehow survived, many of those will not make it through the end of this year. All the while, ultra-rich billionaire buddies of the DC swamp, they just got richer. Now, hey, I'm 100% in favor of a free, open, capitalist market. Let the market forces and consumers choose what businesses succeed and which ones do not. This is by far the best system that humans have come up with. Yeah, there's problems with it, it's not perfect, but in general, it's the best that we've come up with so far. The biggest problem I see is when an elite few at the very top choose who can and who cannot have a business. That's no longer free and open markets. That's a dictatorship. Now, going back to the SBA letters. A minute ago, I said that the mass letter that Skip was talking about was a little bit different than the letter that I received. In my case, the letter said that we were denied because the IRS was unable to find our tax returns. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all the legal structure of my company, but in summary, Auto Corner is a limited liability company, and that's owned by a Class C corporation. I'm not going to bore you with it all, just know I own an LLC, and the corporation owns my LLC. I own the corporation. The short part of this story is the IRS keeps looking for the LLC's tax returns, but everything's filed under the company's name, the corporation. I've told the SBA this multiple times, along with certified copies of our tax returns by my accountant. That doesn't seem to work. For whatever reason, the SBA just sits in the corner drooling on themselves and they cannot figure it out. The stupid thing is on my original loan documents, it lists the corporation anyways. So why they're so fixated on the LLC, I don't know. So what is your status? Did you get denied the increase? What about the grants? Why don't you comment down below and let me know. Thank you very much for watching, and it sounds like the neighbor's mowing their grass, so you may be hearing that. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Please make sure you click like and subscribe. Doing so really helps the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate it. Thanks, and I'll see you on the next one.